let her tell it. People on the streets say Sabrina speaks. Tune into the show, she will let you know. Tell all your friends and family. Real talk is no joke. You get the news straight up from grassroots and concerns. You need to hear with some people gone. So tell all your friends to tune in to
Good evening, Cayman. I'm Sabrina Turner, and welcome to Sabrina Speaks, your daily dose of clarity, truth, and community insights. Every weekday from 5 to 6:30 p.m., we're tackling the issues that affect you, from national headlines to grassroots concerns. Whether you're in traffic or winding down your day, this is your chance to hear it straight and speak your truth. So buckle up, Cayman. We're not holding back.
This is the show. We gotta let you know. Now we got to go.
And now here's Sabrina.
Welcome, everyone. Happy Wednesday. Happy Hump Day. I hope that you've had a fantastic Wednesday. And again, you know how it is when you're knocking off of work, getting ready to go home, and you know you're almost there to the weekend. It's just something amazing about a Wednesday because you know you're halfway there. You're smack in the middle of the week. And whether it's a day closer to you going for summer vacation, I know some people are just coming back and others are excited and busting at the seams because they're getting ready to go for their summer vacation, whatever it is. Thank God you're here with us today. Thank God I'm back. And again, you're into another episode of Sabrina Speaks. Yes, the podcast that continues to grow, and definitely the podcast where voices rise, stories unfold, and inspiration definitely takes center stage. And gentle reminder, if you're really enjoying this content, like, share, and subscribe so that you're not missing out on anything. And to all of our new followers, I see you, and definitely your subscribers, welcome and thank you all. As usual, we got to do our housekeeping, and just a quick heads up. The content you're about to hear, including any discussions or opinions from me, my guest, or our participants, is intended solely for general information and entertainment purposes. It's not a substitute for professional legal, medical, or financial advice. So I encourage you to consult with a qualified professional for specific concerns. Sabrina Speaks disclaims all liability for any decisions or actions taken in reliance on the information presented. Yes, now that's housekeeping all out of the way. And you are welcome to definitely participate. Look at there. I even got new media. Thanks to the CEO. She definitely got a way of you keeping in and joining in the conversation. Of course, you can be a part of it. 936-8255 to join in on the discussion. Today is no different than any other day. Actually, we continue to build. We continue to inspire. We continue to educate and inform and showcase our very own. And today is no different. And I'm excited. I'm so excited to have a phenomenal woman, a Caymanian, whose story will unfold here today. But you know how we do it here on Sabrina Speaks. It's all about motivation. And today is no different. Today is definitely no different. Let me just take this overlay off here. Hold on. I'm just getting used to this. August 6th, 2025. Stay open to the positivity that life may have other surprises in store for you. That all you have experienced so far may not be all there is. That you may be approaching one of the most beautiful, meaningful, and transformative periods of your life. That the best may be yet to come. And I hope that sends a note of positivity to you, and that you can actually look at everything that is in store and just give God thanks every day for all his blessings on us. And Yeah, let's see who is actually here. Barbara G, good evening. Welcome to you. Hi, Miss Rose. Hi, Miss Rose. Yes. We are actually, I'm going to get into the topic this evening, but I'm quite sure you would love it because I have a guest in store. And as you can see from the flyer, for those of you who are seeing it, um, we're going to put the spotlight on a phenomenal young lady who has broken the barriers. And I'm going to do the intro in a few seconds. I just want to acknowledge all of you who are commenting and all of you who don't even comment but are here from the beginning, all 72 of you right now. But I know people join us throughout the show and definitely after, because I understand a lot of you are either driving home, going to and from different jobs, but you actually tune into this live stream at various points. So I'm not even going to be flustered when the numbers aren't through the roof because we see it in our algorithms once we're live. But Don Heights, it's a pleasure to have you. Good evening to you, my sweet. Good evening, Miss Joyce Ann. Always a pleasure to have you. Yes, and you're welcome, Miss Rose. It is a pleasure. It is indeed a pleasure. So today is a promise. We are sharing a story that is raw as it is inspiring. To all of my Sabrina Speaks fans, it's a journey that explores the heart of the Cayman Islands and the deep resilience of one of our own daughters. We often hear about adversity, but it is different to experience entirely, to listen to it from someone who has lived it and not only survived, but thrived. My guest today is a living testament of the power of the human spirit. She has faced the devastating loss of parents. She has battled through the dark depths of substance abuse and navigated the complexities of being a wife, a mother, whilst overcoming public stigma, societal judgments, especially in a small island community like ours. But through it all, she has emerged with an unbreakable spirit. And today, I am truly honored and honest to have joined me on this edition of the Sabrina Speaks, Miss Sacha Miller. Hi, Miss Sacha. You're a little blurry there. Turn around. We want to see you because there's a lot of light in the background.
Okay. Is
Yes.
that better?
That's a
Hi,
little
good
bit
evening.
yes.
Good evening, everyone.
Yes, Sacha is a true Caymanian hero and now proud member of even the DEH, dedicated to making our islands a cleaner place. And she's one of Cayman's unbroken. So we're going to hear Sacha's story this evening. I want you to turn down either the radio or whatever you have on, or I'm hearing a feedback from myself.
Okay.
You have on the radio?
Just a second. Just a minute. Let me
Okay.
just a minute.
Just turn down your volume one little bit.
Okay.
Yep. Okay. So we're going to hear your
Is
story,
that better
Sacha.
now?
Yes, that's much better. We're going to hear
Are
Sacha's
you hearing me
story.
better now?
I am hearing you. Are you hearing us? Are you hearing us?
Yeah, a little. It's kind of low, but I'm hearing you guys a little.
Okay. As long as you're hearing us, because we need you to hear us. This is your interview, and I want you to be able to hear me. So just turn it up just one little bit.
Okay.
Okay. Right.
Yeah, I'm hearing
All
you a little better now.
Excellent. So it's a story finding purpose, reclaiming her life, and becoming a source of light to so many others. So, Sacha, I want to thank you for coming on the Sabrina Speak show. And it is indeed a pleasure to have this spotlight on you because so much, of the challenges that we're seeing here, but you're one of Cayman's unbroken. And that is why you're one of so many in our society. And it is indeed a pleasure to have you here with us this afternoon. And I'm hoping that wherever your story begins, where you are today, that it will leave an inspiration to someone who may think that it's all gloom, but there's always a light at the end of the tunnel. But thank you again.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you for having me, Miss Sabrina. It's a
Uh,
pleasure and an honor to be on your show this evening. I'm praying and hoping that I can reach someone's heart when I
mhm.
share my story this evening because the struggle out there is real.
Right, right. So Sasha, let's get to know you just a little bit more. You know,
Yes, ma'am.
um, a Caymanian resilience story is pretty much how I had this show entitled. And that's exactly what it is when it comes to you. But also in preparing, I said you're actually one of Cayman's unbroken, understanding where you're coming from and where you are. God bless you. But can you take us back a little bit to your childhood? What was life like growing up? What was your
Um,
childhood like?
well, I actually grew up in a home with six brothers and one sister.
Mm-hmm.
Um, during that time, I had my dad, so like I was more attached to him,
Mm-hmm.
and he would always take me like on the beach on Sundays, and like when he have to take me to school and stuff like that, he would always carry me on his little bicycle because he used to work at the hospital as a porter and
Mm-hmm.
also as a maintenance, plumbing, everything he was doing there at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Relationship wise, with my brothers, it was like on and off. We weren't that close at the time, because like I said, I always attached more to my dad.
Mm-hmm.
Um, my mom at the time, she was always working, trying to provide for the home. Sometimes she would take me with her to work, and I would sit in her vehicle and wait for her.
Mm-hmm.
Um, During those times, she was like a housekeeping manager, at the Hyatt and stuff like that.
Right.
So I would normally wait in the truck with until she's finished work.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Abuse in the home for me, yes. Um, but I'll get to that part when I finish telling you now what really led to that. Um,
Mm-hmm.
at the age of 8 years old, I lost my dad.
Mm-hmm.
Um, he got killed on the side of the road in spots on Spot Street.
Mm-hmm.
Um, he was so kind-hearted that he lost his life being kind-hearted.
Oh wow.
He stopped to help a young lady that ran out of gas with her little girl on the side of the road.
Mm-hmm.
And while he was bending down to draw gas from his car to put in hers, he was hit by some drunken people 40 feet away. So he died on the spot.
Oh wow.
Um, I was actually the one that answered the phone that night when the hospital called
Mm-hmm.
to let us know that he was in the accident. I didn't cry. It didn't bother me at the time. I went with my mom to the hospital to see oversee everything. I At the time I was trying to play the adult by trying to comfort my mom and stuff like that because it's not hitting me in reality world yet
Mm-hmm.
what's really happening here. But all I'm telling myself is that I need to support my mom no matter what through this.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so it went on like that for a while. After even at the funeral, I didn't cry. I just tell myself that he's going to come back.
Mm-hmm.
So when I got in my teenage years now, 13, 14 now, that is where my life took a different angle and a completely different turn when I realized then that he was really gone. Um, the first thing I was introduced to was ganja, alcohol, and cigarettes.
Mm-hmm.
That was the first three things that I was introduced to. um, you know, hanging out with friends on the side of the road and going down in areas and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and just, just telling myself that these are the things that I needed to make myself
Mm-hmm.
kill that loneliness and that grief and everything and the guilt and everything that I was carrying inside of me. And I was even telling myself that maybe I could have do something to save my dad, and
Mm-hmm.
what could I have done different? Maybe if I had went with him, he wouldn't die. So, all of these mixed emotional feelings going on in my head.
Agree.
Um, so it went on like that for a couple of years, um, like maybe about 3 or 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
When I got into the age of 16 years old now,
Mm-hmm.
it became worse. At that time, I was introduced to crack cocaine again, hanging out with different people, and I ended up got introduced to crack cocaine in a nightclub.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it it was a night that, like, I felt like I wanted to fly
Mm-hmm.
because I was mixed with the ganja, I was mixed with the alcohol, and then there goes the cocaine in my system. So everything made me feel like I was floating. So, like, the next day, I woke up and I wanted to have the same feeling again. I just tell myself this is what I need to kill my pain and
Mm-hmm.
and the hurt that I'm feeling inside because my dad is gone. Unfortunately, it wasn't the way that I thought it was. Trying to chase that feeling over and over again, I ended up becoming an addict.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Numerous occasions I didn't go home. My mom didn't see me for days and stuff like that. When I do go home, she was so angry with me. Sometimes she would beat me, you know. She would say, what made you end up going on this road? What did I
Mm.
ever do for you to go on this road? And I'm like,
You couldn't
it's
explain
not,
it.
it's just what it is. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I said, there's nobody here to worry about me the way that I need to be worried about, So those kind of attitude, like, I found myself in a lot of depression stage,
Mm-hmm.
like where I just wanted to be alone. There were times when I felt like I wanted to commit suicide. Like, I just wanted my life to end because I just felt like if my life end and I go where my dad is, everything will be okay. I wouldn't have to go through this alone.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so it escalated now for at the age of 19 now, I lost full control of myself in the addiction life.
Mm-hmm.
So I became a nuisance to society. I would burglarize places. I would steal whatever my hand could get on just to get high. Um, and it went on like that until I was finally caught up with the police, that they ended up started looking for me to lock me up because people started complaining that I broken in their places and stuff like that. I was very angry, um, ignorant at the time, that even when the police would come, I would try to fight them as well, fight them off and tell them I'm not going anywhere with them because I didn't do anything wrong. So, so there came a time now that they finally got their hands on me and they locked me up at the police station, and I ended up going to court.
Mm-hmm.
That was my first time ever facing a judge in 1999. And when I faced that judge in 1999, I had 19 charges
Mm.
at the age of 19 years old. Consumption of drugs, consumption of cocaine, cocaine in my urine, and theft, burglary, disorderly conduct in the police station, ABH, GBH. I had all different type of charges that the judge had to look at me and said, "Are you really a woman with this file? I think you need a break off the road." And when he said that to me, I was so angry. I even cussed at him and I said, do whatever you want to do. I don't care. Anyway, he sent me downstairs. I was remanded for 9 months. And because it was my first offenses, I I ended up getting a lawyer and legal aid lawyer. And it was just so happened that I didn't end up doing any more time than the 9 months. I ended up walking out of the courtroom with 2.5 years suspended sentence.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't matter. When I got out of the courtroom, I was so glad because I said, wow, it's freedom. I want to get high now. I was excited to get high. So I went on that same road again, going out and using. And, the thing about it is, as woman, I'm going to say this. Um, Cocaine brings women down to a level that you don't understand. And if you're not in a subconscious part of your mind, have God in your heart and in your life, you will do things way beyond control.
Mm-hmm.
Because I became one of a highlighted prostitute in Georgetown, Bordentown, West Bay, every district you could think of, just to get high. There were times I didn't care how I would do what I'm doing. I
Mm-hmm.
just wanted to know that when I'm done, I have money in my hand to get high. And when I couldn't get the money and when I see that my prostitution life wasn't working out, that was when I would try to scope out places to see what I can steal
Mm-hmm.
or whose place I can break. Um, in in 2000 in 1999, when I got out, I met my first husband when I got out. But it wasn't a husband at the time for me because I got married, went to Jamaica and got married, came back here, and I still ended up going back out on the street. So it didn't really matter. Everything was just like a phase for me. Um, but eventually he started to come out and try to find me and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Then I became pregnant with my first son, my second son rather. I have an older son that lives in East End, but I
Mm-hmm.
didn't raise him. He was taken from me at the age of 16 years old because of my drug addiction life. He was taken from me and raised by a lovely, lovely lady
Mm-hmm.
named is Treva McLaughlin. And I will forever be grateful to her for all that she has done for my son and the way that she has raised him. She did her best over and beyond. And I'm proud of the young man he is today. But
Now, Sasha.
he
So,
was caught up
go ahead.
he was caught up in my drug life.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like I didn't recognize his dad in that way. So in a way, it was glad for me to just have the opportunity to make somebody else take him because that was another pain I was going through again. Like, I felt unloved. I felt like I wasn't worthy to him either. So
Mm-hmm.
that was another pain that added on to this frustration of what I was going through with my father.
Mm-hmm.
Then I met my first husband and I got pregnant now with the second boy. That didn't matter. That didn't stop me at all. That just made me continue doing what I was doing. So finally now I I got locked up again because of burglary, theft, and stuff like that. Went back to court again. This time the judge remanded me in custody. And when she remanded me in custody, I told her off in the courtroom. There was no bad word left that I didn't say. And I said, you can do whatever you want to do with me. I don't care. So that type of attitude. And going now with pregnant, same way. And I ended up staying in there until I had that little boy. And I came out And I said, I'm going to try my best to see how I can try to be there for this little one. My heart was willing, but the body and the mind was still weak towards the life that I left behind. It's like I still wanted to get back out there. So my skin, my, my body, and my head, everything was on fire to get back out there, to get that height. So I started leaving him with people all about in Bordentown, just that I could get to town or wherever I could go to get that height. Um, and that's where his dad came in and started to try to look for me and for me to come home and stuff like that. And it went on like that for a couple of years. When I'm tired and when I can't go anymore and I get real hungry, then I tries to crawl in and find myself inside. And even though the little boy was there, I'm still not there because I'm weary. I can't do anything.
Mm-hmm.
Um so I it went on for a while and then I ended up getting pregnant again with my daughter. And when I got pregnant with her, it still didn't matter. Still running that road, same way. And I ended up going back to prison again, pregnant with her. And I ended up staying in prison until I had her. At the time when I went to prison for her, I got sentenced to 3.5 years. So um, I ended up having her in there, and that is where my mom stepped in. She helped me and take her as a girl child, and she would bring her to me in the mornings, like when she going to work at credit union, and I would have her from 9 to 5, and then my mom would come and pick her up. So it was like that until I was eligible for parole. Um, Everything was good in the first off because I got eligible for parole and I ended up going to Caribbean Haven. When I went to Caribbean Haven, I was offered a job at Burger King by Mr. Gary Ruddy and Mr. Fred. And I was grateful because I said, this is probably where I can, start to make some money, try to help my kids and help my husband and stuff like that. So I started to go to work from in there and come back and stuff like that. And for a while, everything was going great. My husband would go by my mom's, check on the little girl, and, while he tried to help with the little boy and stuff like that. So eventually I came out and we all were back home. Was was wonderful. I stayed clean for 5 years during that time. And I held my job for the 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but in the midst of that 5 years, something clicked again. Overstressed, overtired, can't cope with what I'm doing anymore. Like, I'm too tired to be doing what I'm doing. I can't really be the full time mom that I should be. I don't even know if what I'm doing is right. Like, all of
Mm-hmm.
these stuff start to climb up back in my head. So here we go again.
Mm-hmm.
I ended up back out there again after 5 years. And it was worse then. I can tell anyone when you stop even for a day and you go back, it's worse than when you where you left off. Um, so it escalated like that, and my husband start running up and down all over the place trying to get me back home with the kids, without the kids, and I sometimes he would have to fight me to take me home. And by him starting to be physical abuse with me now by trying to get me home, that made it worse. I felt trapped. Like, I felt trapped within myself. I said to myself, but everywhere I go, people that's beating up on me, they want to try to help me in the right way. Why they want to fight me? Why they want to kill me? And stuff like that.
Mhm.
And that only pushed me more further into my addiction with that happening.
So you felt that
Um,
you were not being accepted? Do you feel that you weren't
yes,
being that you were
I
rejected
felt
by society?
rejected. Yes, ma'am. So it went on like that for a couple years. Same way, I got more deeper and more deeper into my addiction till eventually my daughter ended up in the girls' home. She had her own struggles of, of not having her mom, not growing up the right way with her mom. When her mom is there, she's not doing what she's supposed to be doing as a mom.
Mhm.
I would even take some time when I want to do my schemes and plots. I would take them with me to the supermarket and try to shove things in their pocket or in their clothes just for me to get
Mm.
and stuff like that. So, that type of life I carried my kids through. All because of the addiction. Um,
Give me one
there
second,
were
Sacha.
times,
Is everyone hearing me on the stream? Is there anybody where it's low? Don't do anything, Sasha. I'm just making sure. Please send me a thumbs up if everyone is hearing me. I'm not getting any um no one saying that you're not hearing me. So go ahead, Sasha.
okay. Yeah, so my kids was also dragged through my addiction, you know, in ways of me trying to teach them to steal and to lie. Um, Praise God. The only thing I didn't do was sell my daughter. Praise God.
Mm,
It didn't go that far. And I thank God for that. But her life became a living turmoil as well. Like I said, because she felt all just the way that I was feeling, all alone, didn't have no one to really turn to. Her dad they should go around her dad, he would beat her and stuff like that. So she ended up
mhm,
running away too from home.
mhm,
So she ended up on the street as well until God's home people took her in, but she didn't stay there a lot either. She kept running away and kept running away.
mhm,
Um, in 2013, sorry, in 2013 is when I really, really felt like my life was going.
mhm,
Like I felt like I was gonna die. I wasn't eating at all. Like, it was just round the clock from 6 in the morning to 6 the next morning on the road. Where anywhere night come, day come that I won't sleep, I just put my head there.
mhm,
Whenever I get up, if I can get somewhere that I can see somebody clothes on the line, I gone with it.
mm,
Like, if I go to a yard and I back up on a hose, I can run little water on me. I do that, dry off, and put on something and gone again. Um, I went from district to district between 2012 to 2013, stealing phones, stealing wallets, stealing jewelry, stealing everything that I could get my hands on.
mhm,
Going around telling people lies. Oh, my child's sick, I need Pampers. Oh, my child's sick in the hospital, I need juice. You know, I would stand up by people's business places and offices, parking lots, anywhere that I could see an opportunity where I could tell a lie to get even $10, and I was okay because I knew that could have get me my high.
mhm,
Um, you know, and there were times people would run me. There were times people wouldn't even answer me. Sometimes I wouldn't say anything. Sometimes I would get frustrated and say two little bad word, and try to go somewhere else where I don't see them again, but find different set of people, like, all of that kind of way. And when I see that couldn't work out, then I would try to walk and see if I find some apartments door open or whatever to see whatever I could grab in them.
mhm,
In 2013, I was locked up at the police station because That's where I knew then that the drugs really took over my life fully. I ended up broken into my mother's house and stole everything that she had in there:
Wow.
jewelry, TV, camera, phones, everything that you could think of, computer, laptops, everything. I stole everything out of my mom's house. And when the police came to look for me, I was at Town Public Beach. Never forget that day. And they said, "We come to arrest you for burglary." And I said, "Burglar where?" And they said to me, they said, "Sasha, you know where you burglarized today." And that was the first time I actually went with them and didn't have no attitude.
Mm.
Like, I felt more guilty, shame, like, feeling sorrowful, like, you know what I mean? So anyway, I went with them. They locked me down. They took statement and made me know the stuff that I didn't tell them in a lie. I said yes. I took all of that from her. Some of the stuff they were asking me where, but at the time I tried to protect people out there and protect myself. So I
Mm.
didn't end up making them get anything back. So at that time now, they gave me bail. And when they gave me bail, I ended up going back out on the street again.
Mm.
And I didn't care. I was supposed
It
to
was,
go back for rebail and I didn't go. And in I'll never forget the date, August 11th, 2013. 7 carloads approached me by Rota Shop in Georgetown. They surrounded me, and I just put my hands out, like, I just felt tired, like I had
mm.
enough, like, I just want to get somewhere where I can rest. So I went with them willingly, and I was locked up for that night. They took me to court the following day. The judge automatically remanded me because I was looking at 15 charges of all different sorts of things: burglaries, theft, stolen goods, all kind of stuff, drugs, everything involved. So he remanded me and for about 3 months, and then he brought me back. But during that time, before I ended up going in to lock up and going to prison, I met the husband that I'm married to now. Sorry, I forgot to mention that part. I met him while I was on the street, and he did not poll with me, saying to him that I'm not interested in talking to him. I just want some money to get high. And I'll never forget his words when he said to me that, "Well, you're not going to get high tonight. I'll buy you some food, but I want you to know that the Lord sent me in your life." But at the time, I'm not penetrating that and stuff like that. And anyway, I ended up getting locked up, and I felt so ashamed. I didn't want to say anything to him. Eventually, he found me. He paid a lady $25 to show him where Fairbanks prison was. And he came there to visit me. I didn't know that he would know what to bring, but he found out. Everything that a woman could ever need when she's in prison, he brought it. And even when the officers called me and told me that I had a visit, I turned to the officer and I said, "Man, ain't nobody come and visit me. The whole outside world done with me."
Mm.
And when she turned to me, she called his name and said, "Well, if you don't come to visit him, I'm going to let him know." And that's when I realized that he was out there. And I had to visit with him and stuff like that, but I still felt shame and stuff like that. Anyway, we spoke about the court business and thing, and I told him when I would be going back to court. I didn't see him after that till when I ended up going back to court now. I was called up and the judge looked at me and said, I was reading at the time, not Miller. Said, "Miss Redding, do you know that You're facing 10 years in prison today. And I was like, oh boy. Said to myself, you know what? If this is what it's gotta be, you know.
Mhm.
Maybe I need something to happen to stop me from doing what I'm doing. This is what I was saying to myself in the courtroom. So anyway, the judge told me to sit down. During the time when I sat down now, my husband came into the courtroom and walked straight up to the dock where I was. And the judge asked him, what is it that he's doing in the dock? So he said he's there on behalf of Sacha and he would like to say something. So the judge gave him the opportunity to speak. And Miss Sabrina, let me tell you, that courtroom was so full that day. Wasn't no seat left in there. And he stood up in front of everyone in that courtroom that morning and told the judge that whatever sentence he was going to give me, he wanted to be a part of it. Um, every time I think about it, tears come to my eyes because that's for the first time in my life I ever felt like somebody really cared, you know. And because of that, the judge ended up adjourning my case for the last. And when he did call me back up, he said to me that, do you know that I was planning to sentence you today for 10.5 years
Mm.
for you to be able to go through some form of rehabilitation to help get your life cleaned up and stuff like that. And I said, yes, Your Honor. And I said, I said to myself, I said, God, you know what? This is me in your journey now. Because I'm tired. I'm tired of doing this alone. This is the first time now that I actually touching base with God. Really, really touching base with God. And I said, whatever you do today, sorry. I said, whatever you do today, it's your will, not mine. And he turned to me and he said, he called back up my husband and he said, I want you to come up while I'm talking to Miss Redding. And he told him, he said, it takes a real man to stand up in the courtroom and said the thing that he said. And he said he has no doubt in his heart. He see where there is great support for me with him.
Mhm.
So he has a change of heart of not sentencing me. He wants to try me in the job court program and see how that works. And he asked me how I feel about it, and I said, Your Honor, whatever it takes for me to get clean and take my life in a different turn, I'm willing. Because I'm tired of being tired. I'm tired of being high. I'm tired of being stressed. I'm tired of feeling unwanted. I'm tired of being a nuisance to society. I'm tired of people looking down on me. I'm tired of people spitting at me. I'm tired of people doing everything to me. So today is a day that whatever you do, I have no problem. He was really surprised. But I think I hit my rock bottom then.
Mhm.
And
You think that
for
that was the turning point in your life right there, right then?
yes, definitely. And I ended up coming out and going into the drug court program and went through with everything. Then I ended up getting pregnant now with my last son, which he'll be 10 in October. And everything was going smooth until when I reached like maybe 7.5 months pregnant. I got away out there again.
Mhm.
Felt overwhelmed and sorry, all the meetings and the this and the that, like. And
Mhm.
I said, oh God, I can't deal with this. And I ended up running and hiding and to get a little smoke, saying to myself, I'm just going to get a little smoke and just take it easy and come right back.
Mhm.
I ended up staying out there for 2 days. And thank God to the Bridge Foundation people at the time. Some real caring people was there. Some of them, along with my probation officer, came to find me.
Mm-hmm.
So I was taken off the road quickly. But by that happening, now I had to go back to the drug court.
Mm-hmm.
So I was remanded for 3 months till they decide what they were going to do. And I said, "Oh God, here we go again." I said, "God, I promised," and then look at this again. I said, "I don't know what else to do." But I said, "I'm just going to sit back and just try to really look deep and to find out what is it that I can do to avoid going back out there when I feel the way that I feel." Like, started the self-talk and stuff like that.
Correct. Mm-hmm.
So anyway, they let me back out on house arrest because I was closer to having the baby then.
Mm-hmm.
They let me back out on house arrest with that ankle monitor on my
Mm-hmm.
foot. Um, that was the last arrest.
Thank
To
God.
God be the glory.
Yep.
That was it for prison gates, prison doors, and courthouse. That was it. I graduated from the drug court program May the 24th, 2017. When I had that little slip with that little boy, I never looked back since because I kept praying and asking God to give me different choices, something else to do, something else to go to more than to get high. So, I just gradually just, start to do some self-talk, start to get deep within. And, one day I said to myself, I said, "You know what? I was sitting inside of my apartment and I said to myself, I said, Sasha, you are not going to get this until you tell yourself that the life that you was in, you were powerless
Mm-hmm.
and it was unmanageable. And you have to start digging out whatever it is that you have on the inside, not just externally, but internally. You
Mm-hmm.
have to get deep within and start to pull out the pain, the hurt, the loneliness, the shame, the guilt, whatever it is, the sadness, one by one. You need to start working on them step by step and finding a different alternative. And that is what helped me through, Miss Sabrina.
Wow.
That is what helped me through. But I'm here on your show today, and I'm telling you, I was on crack cocaine, drugs, other drugs, alcohol, everything for 24 years. I was on the streets, and it wasn't easy. There were times I could have been killed. There were times I was licked down, don't even know who licked me down till I get up and see my face bleeding or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Abused in every way possible, taken advantage of in every way, all because of that life, And I must say that I am grateful to God when I walked out of that life completely. I was worried about maybe having AIDS or something, you know, because the reality is kicking in now.
Mm-hmm.
And to God be the glory. I walked out of that life with nothing wrong with me
Amen.
at all. And I personally didn't take that for granted.
Mm-hmm.
I truly ask God to continue to give me his grace and his mercy and his love because I know it had to be him that was preserving my life. Um, Now I am in the Department of Environmental Health um, as the first woman driver in history. Um, and it's a blessing. I love my job with a passion. There are days that I go to work and it's rough, but I make it through because I love what I do. I truly, truly appreciate everyone in that department, including the director, for giving me the opportunity for this job and that I could make a difference not only in my life, but also to make a difference back in society. Instead of being a nuisance now,
Mm-hmm.
I'm giving back to my community in a positive way. You know, any little thing, if the truck miss a stop and is blocked, I'm excited and happy to go and move that because I'm giving back now. I'm
Right.
not taking anymore. So, it's every day I get up to go to work, I feel like a child being happy to get up to go to their favorite school. So much
Mm-hmm.
support for me in that department in every way.
Right.
I always have someone to talk to if I need to, you know, whether it's in the landfill or whether it's up by the office, I always have 100% support from all of them.
Mm-hmm.
And I wouldn't want to be nowhere else.
I'm sharing a picture here on the screen, Sasha, with a number
Yes,
of your friends, and I know these ladies there at DEH. You
y-
are all honestly a family there. That's
yes,
so
we are.
different. But here you are in rebuilding and resilience, and I wanted to actually, I'm holding it together because I am so proud of your vulnerability. I'm so proud of you being discovered today. And
Yes,
being so
ma'am.
willing to be showcased on this platform.
Yes, ma'am.
This is nothing short of, I would honestly say, divine intervention, how this all came together today.
Yes, ma'am.
And to show you that you are the epitome of what unbroken women or an unbroken individual can be in our society.
Thank,
Understanding, as you rightfully stated, and for those who are just joining, and the comments, Sasha, are just overwhelming. What got you, or what got you the most was actually when you lost your dad. It was a downward spiral from there, and
yes.
it was the hardest thing for you to get yourself out of that downward spiral. You kept wanting that high, hoping that that high would, for some reason, take you to be with your father, who you were the close, obviously had a close bond with. But that led you into substance abuse that drew you to the, as you described, to the pits, to the bottom of nothing. But
Yes,
here
ma'am.
you are rebuilding and resilient to it. You are a wife now, you're a mother. How has
Yes.
that journey actually impact your very own relationships at approaching parenting? How to parents? Like, what lessons have you learned from your own personal life and adversities? How has it
Um,
impacted your ability to even parent?
yes, ma'am. One of the things that really um helped support me through my time of staying clean to this point, um, the support of my husband,
Mhm,
the support of my whole entire recovery network. There
mhm,
was not a day that I could say, boy, I can make some form of negativity take over for some reason in my head. No, because
mhm,
I have the support that I needed to reach out anytime, any hour, whether
uh,
it's by phone call, whether it's even to walk through the door to say, hey, I'm feeling like this, So for that reason, I really, really held it together.
mhm,
Um, Second, most of all, reason is when I reached in my 2 years recovery, my second son,
mhm,
which is Ezra Redding, maybe a lot of people know him.
mhm,
Um, he decided that he was going to turn his life over to God after he saw that I made up my mind to make a different turn in my life. He followed right behind me and got baptized and has been walking with the Lord from he's been 17 years old and he'll
Wow.
be 26 in December.
Wow.
He's now a minister in Pastor Murray Church. He preaches in Windsor Park Parks, anywhere that he can grab a group of people, even his age, even some that he has left behind out there, that he can share the word of God with.
Mm-hmm.
He's happy. Um, and you know, when he was going to get baptized, he said something to me that will never leave me, Miss Sabrina.
Mm-hmm.
And I truly believe that I had to get that because that became the rock that I needed to
Mm-hmm.
stand firm on. He said to me, he said, Mom, we've been through so much, but you know what? We're here and we still love you.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm doing this today, not only to change my life, but I need to
Mm-hmm.
do this that you can have a extra support that you really need.
Mm-hmm.
And that's going to be me
Mm-hmm.
because I'm going to follow the Lord that He can help me and give me the strength that I can help you when you need help in any
Wow.
form of way. And He
Wow.
said to me, He said, and most of all, Mom, your strength has become mine that I
Mm-hmm.
can do this today.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you, Miss Sabrina,
Mm-hmm.
my family, my kids is a living miracle with me. My daughter is the same thing. When she graduated from the girls' home, she told me, she said, Mom, I see a lot of changes, a lot of difference. You are actually here for me. You can actually show up for me. Your strength has become mine. I will too overcome my weaknesses.
Mm-hmm.
So now I have the oldest son, my daughter,
Mm-hmm.
and my minister son.
Mm-hmm.
All three of my big kids are walking with God. They're all baptized.
Wow. What a safer place. What is one of the safest places that you could end up? Have you ever saw yourself understanding the role that your children have, the step that they have taken, understanding how vulnerable they were with your own story? It is, I know, Sasha, it has to be God
Yes.
over you, protecting you that has actually helped you.
Yes, ma'am.
There is so much. I got to take this opportunity because I know you're sharing your story. You have tons of well wishes coming in, and
Yes, ma'am.
just allow me. I won't be able to read all of them,
That's
but
fine.
Tosca Seymour says, Sasha, you are a true testimony. So proud of you. God is good and always on time. Diamond Eye
Amen.
says, Lord bless you. You are special and always remember that. Zeleas Shanice says, I am so happy for you. Deborah Bodden says, "Hats off to the judge with your situation there. He obviously had given you a chance, and that is what so many people are actually saying in our community who feel that the world has turned their backs on them. We're only looking
Yes.
for someone to just give them a chance, you know."
Yes.
And we got Anne
Yes.
Stevens say, "Don't know you, but she's proud of you. God bless you." And we got
Oh,
CE Banks. God continue to guide you, Sasha. So proud. Also, Jim Norris is saying, God bless you and all those who love you. Miss Reby Prince says, this bring tears to my eyes, Sasha. Shanice says, love you, Sasha. Keep up the good work. We got
yes, ma'am.
Fellner, Marvette Fellner, God bless you. Met her and her baby boy, and she is so lovely. Aw, see there?
Yes.
We got greetings going out and amen from Darlene Glidden. We got
That's right.
Shalice is sending praying hands. India Watson, it brings tears to my eyes. God bless you, Mom. And God is good.
Yes.
Latoya Moore is also sending congratulations, and also is Edson Manderson. Congratulations. I'm very proud of you. Paula
Yes.
Porter says, so proud of you, Sasha. Keep up the good work. And again, Shaka Zulu, hopefully this testimony will be used in future testament programs. Well, that's what the space is about, you know. Dorothy McLeod, God is good. Taskia said, you are very important and loved, Sasha. So
Yes,
you can
Lord.
see by all of the well wishes. Pat
Yes,
Smith
Lord.
said, I am so proud of you, Sasha. Keep up the good work. And you have a good husband. Keep looking forward with God. Take care of your family. Rose
Yes, Lord.
Ebanks is saying, such a sad story. Job well done, girl. I'm proud of you. God bless. Thank you for telling your addiction story and keep the good works up. Love you always. Magdalene says, praise God. And also, we got Joyce Ann saying, bless her, Lord. We got Miss
Oh,
Range that's saying, haha, Miss Clara Range says, thank God. Yes, I'm quite sure you know Miss Range. And
yes.
see there, see, she's sending you well wishes as well. We got Sally AE says, so very proud of you, Sasha. May your testimony touch and change the hearts of many that struggling with drugs. Love and God bless. Denise
Mhm.
Forbes as well is saying, such an amazing turnaround. God bless and keep you, Sasha. We got Marshall Duarte. Sasha, I just want to say that I'm so proud of you and to see how you have changed your life around for the better. God bless you. So these are just some of those that we're reading, but they will all be here for you to actually go over and read
Yes,
as
Lord.
well for yourself, because of course a lot of them they're just coming in quite it's steady. Miss Yvonne
Yes, Lord.
Forster says, stay strong, stay resilient, for your intelligence. And I told you that already. You may not remember me, but it's who knows you. So this
No.
person definitely knows you. But those are
Yes.
some of the these are the, diamond eyes. Your true testimony of what you have been through in life. I'm so proud of you. Continue to stand strong because God have your back. Big thanks to your husband as well. And yes, big thanks to him. And good for you for actually highlighting him. And I have a picture on the screen that shows you, and these are your children. One, two, three, four. That's a
Yes.
picture. Yes, yeah. So that's you and your family. Again, thank you for showing your vulnerability there. Now, you are very proud of your job there at DEH. And I think there's a little story that you shared. But let me read this one from Shaka Zulu. It says, could Auntie Sabrina, could you and Auntie Sandra work with Sasha to write a book? I believe her story needs to be told far and wide. It's
Oh,
you see, it's a universal story of survival through the darkest time. So there, look at that. And Miss
yes.
you see there? And Miss
Yes,
Darlene
sir.
Glidden is saying, I'm so glad for you that you found a good husband and that your son is doing well. But
Mm.
there's a story with you. We're talking about people giving each other. I got the camera back on you now, Sasha. So let's see your face.
Yeah,
Um,
okay.
so this was a story with you when you realized you'd gotten this job with DEH, but you kind of were so used to doors being slammed in your face. Can you share with us exactly the day when you got one call that you saw the call from government? How you felt? Tell us
Okay.
exactly that.
Sure, definitely. My okay, let me tell you, I have another little girl. She just turned 8 on the that's the one that I show you with the two small ones. That's the
Mm-hmm.
boy and the girl. So she's the little last wash belly. Yeah.
I'm gonna pull
So
that one up.
yeah, she just turned 8 on the 11th of July. Um she was when
There
she
she
was
is.
born, there she is. When she was born, 3 weeks after she was born, she was diagnosed with pyloric stenosis.
Mm-hmm.
So she was born with her stomach closed. So Dr. Zooks had performed a keyhole surgery on her
Mm-hmm.
stomach to open her stomach up. Anyone can Google it and look for the for Miller's for Soraya baby, and you can read the story on it
Mm-hmm.
from for 2017. Sorry. Yes. So she's my last little miracle.
Mm-hmm.
She's autistic. She has three different type of autism. She goes to Lighthouse, but she is my rock.
Mm-hmm.
Every day I have to do everything in my power to be a mom, especially for
Mm-hmm.
all of them, but for her most of all.
Right.
Sorry, because she cannot express herself.
Mm-hmm.
She can say, sorry, a little one in two words, but she cannot hold a conversation like how me and you can.
Mm-hmm.
So for that reason, I am very protective over her.
Right.
Um, so sorry. During the time I was at Moritz in East End working in the laundry.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, in 2021, I got that job in March 2021. I was hired up there to work in the laundry. Um, but I had did the nice project the year before, um, 2020.
Mm-hmm.
So I had fill out an application and leave it at the office when I did my last 2 weeks in January. So I had a time period of where I wasn't working from January, February till March now. They called me up by
Mm-hmm.
Moritz.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, Miss Sabrina, I still getting all that cough and the cold. Sorry.
Right. Right. We thank you for
Um,
sticking with us.
yes, ma'am. Anyway, everybody up there started to love me, love to work with me and stuff like that. I already had started to form a little family.
Mm-hmm.
But for the struggles with Soraya going to doctor, have to find money for her to do operation on her mouth and stuff like that. It kind of like got
Mm-hmm.
me a little frustrated.
Mm-hmm.
But this time I didn't choose to do anything negative. When I got frustrated, I chose that time then to kneel on
Mm-hmm.
my face to God and ask Him to please help me in a way that I can help my little girl because I need to do whatever I can to see to it that she will be okay. I said, Lord, whatever it takes, whatever you see fit, I'm just asking you for that help for Soraya.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I prayed and I believed and I just knew that whatever outcome it was, that God was going to make it be an outcome that we all could handle.
Mm-hmm.
Um, sorry, April came. I had my phone underneath the table in the laundry while I was folding the sheets. But something kept telling me that I need to take up my phone and check my phone. This was the 22nd of April 2020. So anyway, I took up the phone When I took up the phone now, it's like something say, all right, Sasha, go to the bathroom. And I said to myself, I said, but do I really need to go to the bathroom? But I said, anyway, I'm going to the bathroom. When I got to the bathroom and opened up my phone, I saw a missed call from a government number.
Mhm.
So I tried to call it back. When I call it back, I got voicemail. I said,
Mhm.
oh Lord, then I guess I gotta wait till they call me back then. I can't get nobody.
Mhm.
Anyway, just when I was about to wash my hands and come out the bathroom, I saw the same number calling me back.
Mhm.
So I answered then and I said hello. And then, the HR came on and said, is this Miss Sasha? And I said, yes, ma'am. This is Miss Sasha. I said, were you calling me before? And she said, yes. I said, oh, I apologize. I had my phone underneath the shelf where I'm working, so I couldn't answer it at the time. So I do apologize for the first call that was missed.
Mhm.
She said, no problem. She said, what I'm calling you for, I want to find out if you are still interested in working with the Department of Environmental Health. Miss Sabrina,
Wow.
I went silent for a couple of
Mhm.
seconds. I couldn't talk. My heart became so full.
Mm.
And she knew.
Mhm.
And she said, are you okay that you can talk to me now? And I said, yes, mom. I said, I'm sorry. It's just my heart got full. She said, it's okay. She said, I'm sending you a job offer letter to your email. And she asked me if my email is still the same. And I said, yes, mom. She said, I'm going to send you a job offer letter right now. And all I need for you to do is sign that and scan it back to me. And once you
Wow.
do that, we'll take it from there. And I said, okay, mom. I said, that's all I need to do. She said, yes. And once you do that, I will be in touch.
Mhm.
And I said, okay. I said, thank you so much. I appreciate this call. She said, I know.
Mhm.
Never forget that. She said, I know. And I said, okay. And I said, God bless you. Miss Sabrina, when I came off of that phone with her,
Mhm.
I literally broke in that bathroom.
Mhm.
And when I say broke, I broke into the depths of the Lord then.
Mhm.
And I think that he knew that I had to be in that bathroom to take this call because he knew the reaction
Mhm.
that was going to happen.
Mhm.
I'm telling you, the tears was just flowing and I was just thanking him and praising him for that job.
Right.
And let me tell you, it all happened so quickly
Mhm.
because after I did the job offer, then she called me, let me know to go to the hospital to do a full medical.
Mhm.
And I went and I did that. And the time frame of what they gave me to say that they would get the results and they would call me in for the interview.
Mhm.
It happened way before that. It
Oh
happened like
wow.
a week and a half before that date.
Mhm.
So anyway, I was called in for the interview on the 29th of May.
Mhm.
And when I was called in for the interview, I said to the HR, I said, before you go any further into this interview, can I say something? And she said, sure. I said, I want you to know before, even though I signed that job offer letter, I still need for you to know
Mhm.
where I'm coming from and where I've been. And I sat there and I told her, I said, listen, you're looking at a young lady that was on drugs for 24 years.
Mhm.
I've been to prison. I lived on the streets. I was a prostitute. I was an addict. I was everything that was bad. I went to
Mhm.
prison. I robbed. I steal. I broke in people's cars. I broke in people's houses. I told her all of that.
Mhm.
And I said, I'm just trying my best now with my new life
Right.
to stay clean for my kids and myself, and to have a better future, especially for my 5 kids.
Mm-hmm.
I need to stay positive. So I
Right.
said, even though I tell you all of this, whatever you decide to do, I still feel better knowing that I laid everything out on the
On
table
the
to you.
table. Mm-hmm.
And I said, you know why? Because if I do get this opportunity, I don't want when I get up and go through that door and somebody see me in the uniform, they're going to come in here and tell you what I had time to could have told you,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And when she said, you finished? And I said, yes, ma'am. She said, all I need for you to do is get up and give me a big hug.
Oh.
Because she said, let me tell you something, Sasha. She said, I know you and I know everything that you said. But she said, we're not here for that. We love you and we want to give you a chance in the department. Now it's up to you to keep this chance and make good of it. But I am very, very, very pleased and proud of you to actually sit in front of me and spill your life and your guts like that. It takes
Mm-hmm.
a real woman to do that.
Yes. Yeah.
And I said, thank you very much. But I said, you know what? Part of my recovery, something that I had a hard struggle with,
Mm-hmm.
I practice that now every day, being honest.
Mm-hmm.
So I believe with all of my heart that honesty takes you a long way. So I don't want to come in here and try to pretty up nothing and cover up nothing.
Mm-hmm.
I want to give it to you the exact way it is. At least if I even walk out and didn't get the job, I still would feel better
Yes.
because I told you the truth.
Mm-hmm.
So, and she turned to me, she said, well, I only have one thing to tell you now. You come back tomorrow morning and sign your contract and you go down to the landfill and start your journey. I
Right.
was so happy. I actually ran down the stairs. I was so happy that day. I
That
actually
was a
ran
new
down the
lease
stairs.
for you. That was a new
Yes,
lease on life
that
for you.
was a new leaf. And,
Someone
all the,
believed in you and they gave you a chance. You could
yes,
find your purpose. You have a sense of worth. Someone didn't look at you and scuffed you. That was what you
right,
were accustomed to. So even getting that call, I'm quite sure for a moment you're like, oh God, what I was, what did I do? You're trying to think back. Oh my
yes,
God, is it something in my past now that has resurrected? When it was actually a good call for once.
yes, ma'am. So true. But, I, um, I am really, really grateful, like I said, for where I'm at. But, one of the things that, I really want to share out on your show this evening.
Sure.
I'm really praying and hoping some young people is watching this,
Mm-hmm.
or if not, some parent for a child that may be struggling, running away, maybe falling the wrong crowd. Um, let me enlighten you all in something here. When a child is depressed and locked away and don't want to talk, the best way to walk that child out of that situation is showing a lot of support and true love. Not being angry and taking the frustrations out on them. When we do things like that, we push them over the edge.
Mm-hmm.
Every human being has a story to tell in their life, whether we're young, whether we're old, but especially the young people today, they need the support of adults in a positive way in these times.
Mm-hmm.
Because you find a lot of them going to harder drugs
Mhm.
than even when I was out there. And it's the drugs when I was out there is not like how it is today. It is more
Right.
deadlier out there now. So, you see your child changing from ways that not normal, please grab their hand and try to talk with them, show them a lot of love and support. And there is a lot of support network out there to help both
Mhm.
the child and the parent. We have
Mhm.
counseling center, we have the NDC, we have the Bridge Foundation if they need somewhere to stay and recuperate and in their recovery, the doors are wide open.
Mhm.
And me myself here as well is here to help in any way possible.
Mhm.
Um, because it all has to start from within.
Mhm.
We have to know that we have a problem and we have to know that we want to help ourselves from that problem. And the one way to do that is to admit that we do have a problem and we need some help.
Mhm.
That's where it all starts. And once you can tell yourself that, the love of yourself will automatically kick in. And once you
Mhm.
start to love yourself, everything else will start to fall in place. You will
Mhm.
start to see things different and in a more positive and livelier way. Not darkness, not the wrong roads and the wrong crowd.
Right.
And
Right.
I just want to say we cannot do anything without the presence of God.
Mhm.
Put God in front of everything that you do.
Mhm. Now, looking back at your entire journey, Sasha, what is the single most important piece of advice would you give to anyone right now in the Cayman Islands who's currently struggling with a loss? Like you realize this, your spiral was because of the loss of your father, or even someone who is struggling with addiction. Looking back
Okay.
at your very own, what important piece of advice would you share?
Um, I would say to them that get try to think of a different way of your life.
Mm-hmm.
I understand that sometimes people might feel like they're in darkness and they can't come out. You can.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, the first thing that individual needs to do is realize that what they're doing is controlling them. They don't have any power over themselves.
Mm-hmm.
The drugs, the addiction life has that power over them. And the first way to start to deal with that is actually you have to start facing it and just
Mm-hmm.
know that this is something that I can't manage
Mm-hmm.
and I need some help.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it can be a struggle, but it all has to start within you.
Mm-hmm.
But what I would encourage people that are out there struggling, if you really want the help, you got to stay away from the people, the places, and the things. You
Mm-hmm.
got to find new friends. You got to find a different place to hang out.
Mm-hmm.
Start to hang out with positive people that you know will make you laugh and be joyful and do something different.
Mm-hmm.
Not the same crowd that's going to make you walk down the road with your head hanging down and everybody's talking about you and judging you and putting you down. You want somebody around you that can uplift you in every way.
Right. What
So
would you say to somebody who feels that even, society, as you know, the society that we live in is so small and it's really
mhm,
can be unforgiving. Even when you try to reach out for help, not many people are willing to embrace you into their circle because they can't look past the old Sasha. And some
right,
people feel that you could never break that, but you have broken that because of a judge giving you a chance, your husband. You have now been embraced by your family in the church and
right,
and and even in your workplace. So I think this opens up another and a bigger subject as to even how
yes,
society can continue to push you into adversity.
Yes.
So, good for you that you found that resilience and that strength to pull yourself out, which means you have a lot of self-belief.
Yes.
Because some people will never see you as the Sasha today. They will
Yes.
always try to throw into your face where you coming from.
Yes. Definitely. You know, I'm gonna give you this little piece. Because I don't forget faces. I may not remember people's names, but I don't forget faces. And I'm gonna share this with you. About 2 months ago, I was in Foster's. This young lady that I'm gonna tell you about now. I remember one morning I was coming out behind Funky Time, like 5 o'clock in the morning, and
Mhm.
they were by the bus stop, her and another lady. And when I walked across and past her, she spit right where I walked. And I remember her looking around to the next young lady and said, "Just look panari, dirty and nasty old crackhead." And I turned around and looked at her and looked at the next lady. And the only thing I said to her was, "God bless you."
Wow. Now
That's
that's a
all I
true
said to
Sasha.
her.
That's a reborn Sasha.
Yes, I said to her, I said, "God bless you." And 2 months ago, I went into Foster's to pick up some stuff for my children. And it just so happened that she was right in front of me. I didn't say anything yet because she was there, dealing with the cashier and stuff like that.
Mhm.
So when I look at her, I realize now she was putting back some of her stuff in her cart. And I turned to the cashier and said, um, "Just check these. I'm not going to be able to take these because I don't have enough."
Whoa.
And I touched her on her shoulder
Oy.
and I said, "Hello." I said, "It's okay, mommy. Take them out the cart and put them up there. I will
Oof.
put them on my bill." And she turned around, and I knew when she turned around, she remembered me.
Ooh. Yeah.
she couldn't talk, she couldn't say anything more than she just shake her head. But I understand. I
Mhm.
said it's o- I said it's okay. And I paid for everything for her and let
Thank
her
you,
go.
Jesus. God bless you.
Yeah, so I
That
thought that
is the
she
thank you, Jesus moment. And you're not doing it from no sarcasm. You
no,
really, the lesson was on her, really, with
yes,
that gesture, because she would have expected hatred for you to come back with that exchange of her spitting at you, and you only killed her with kindness.
that, Miss Sabrina, let me tell you overall, even when I was out there for 24 years, is one thing never changes my personality.
That's the
I,
truth.
I
Sasha,
was
that is the
always a
God's truth.
kind
Mm-hmm.
hearted,
Mm-hmm.
manageable, willing to help
It's
anyone.
true.
Even when I don't have it, I still try to help.
That's
And that
true.
never changed in me. And I thank God for it because I have a passion to help.
Mm-hmm.
I love to help people in whatever way that I know that I can.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but for the right things,
Right,
not for
right.
the wrong things. Um, you know. So when I checked out now and got outside, she was outside with the cart crying.
Whoa.
And I
Nice.
said to her, I said, "Why are you crying?" And she reminded me of that morning. I didn't have to say anything. She reminded me herself.
You see?
And she said, "Can you ever find it in your heart to forgive me?" I said, "I forgave you a long time. I forgave you from the time I turned around that morning and said, 'God bless you.'"
Woo. Amen, sister. Amen.
So I said, "There is nothing for you to have on your conscience or worry about." I
Mm-hmm.
said, "Listen, we all have shortcomings.
Mm-hmm.
None of us is perfect. If we were all perfect, there wouldn't be any world. God wouldn't be here for us.
Mm-hmm.
So at the end of the day, you said something to me. You didn't know what I was going through, why I'm where I'm at.
Mm-hmm.
And you see now it's a different turn.
Mm-hmm.
Now that day you put me down.
Mm-hmm.
This time, I'm here to help you. That's the work of the Lord. So
Amen.
I'm not here to put you down or judge you. I helped you from the bottom of my heart. And that's simply that. Whatever happened that time, let it pass.
Mm-hmm.
We don't
Mm-hmm.
worry about that.
Mm-hmm.
What I would just like to say to you is that I pray that you have changed your ways and the way that you look at people on a perspective way in life, because everybody's somebody's mother's child.
That's right.
And you don't know, it's
You
because
don't
I
know their
guess it's,
story.
you don't know their story. You might pass, somebody might pass you in a worse situation than me. And by you sharing that kind of negativity, you might push
Mm-hmm.
them over the edge to
It's
just say
true.
that they just give up.
It's true.
So when you see people like that, if you can't say anything good, don't say anything at all.
At all.
The most
Sasha.
good you can do is
Mm-hmm.
pray for them because
That's
they
true.
need it.
That's right. And it
So
definitely, you see the power of changing you and
yes,
where you are in your life today, because I know the old Sasha, even though we're going to
yeah,
keep her in the past, that would
right.
not have been the turnaround she would have gotten. She'd have gotten a left hook.
That's it. That's it.
But here you
But
are. Yeah.
but I like, I would like to say that, you know whosoever out there is struggling, please know that somebody is praying for you. Somebody is reaching out to you.
Mm-hmm.
All you need to do is reach out back.
Yep. Yep.
Because somebody had to pray for me to get out of my darkness. So now I'm praying for someone else that's in the darkness that I walked out of, that they
Mm-hmm.
too can see the light.
Right. Well said. We have a caller, Sasha. Good
Yes,
evening,
ma'am.
caller. You're live.
Yeah, good evening, Sabrina, and good evening, Sacha. I don't know you, and
Good
I hope
evening.
you don't feel no way, but I listening and I hear that you got a bad cough, and I know something that could get you rid of that in two tools, because I had one like that. There's a
Yes, ma'am.
um, I don't know, you know the little Honduran store, well, I still calls it Junior Shop, right there by the bus depot by Rodelio. The
Yes,
little,
ma'am.
the little Spanish store. Well, they have
Yes,
a
ma'am.
thing named, they have a syrup. It's for cough, cold, and flus. But let me tell you, that's number one. Because when I was at Sherry's, I was getting a cough with my husband, and he had cancer, and I thought they were run me out. And I get that, and I drink that. I was like you, and I drink that 2 days, just 2 doses. The bottle not that big, but that is good. It's a balsamic syrup. It named Pulmogrip, Pulmogrip, and it's a balsamic. It's in a light green with yellow with white box, but you get that. It's for, and then it's for headaches and fever. It's for sinus congestion. It's for sneezing and cough, and it's for sore throat and irritation. But that is the bomb, and it's not bad tasting. It's clear, and it has the little measuring thing in it that you know how much to drink. And I bet you 2-3 doses of that can get you clear of it. That is very good. I recommend that to a lot of people. Right now, I have 2 bottles. I don't run out of it.
Thank you very
Thank you
much.
for
I
sharing that, caller. Mm-hmm.
thank you.
You will get that by day after tomorrow. You'll be able to tell me a difference, because I hear you got bad cough, and I had
Ye-
that, and that
yes,
is
ma'am. Thank you.
yeah.
God
Okay,
bless you.
All
all
right.
right.
Yes,
You
ma'am.
too,
Sasha, I
all the
want,
time.
thank you.
God is great.
That's true. Thank you,
Amen.
Sasha. I know you have been with us for a long time, and even Mr. Raymond is saying I need to let you catch your breath and get some water. But it is. You have been talking to us. I thank you again for pretty much an hour and a half, and for all of the well wishes that are coming through. Mr. Raymond, she did say that she's getting over a cough, but I do understand she really do need to catch her breath. It was
Yes.
one of those interviews, Raymond, to be honest, that you did not want to stop it. Like Sasha, this was her moment, and I allowed her this time to really get her story out there. And this is a true testament. Sasha is a powerful example of of a Caymanian unbroken woman, of a and The message is powerful. You can see based on all of the responses, you can see how touching it was. Her story is real, and there's so much of us here who have seen Sacha from I know for a fact Sacha from when we were going to school. You used to come down with my grandmother's. And
Right.
yeah, so she is well known here, and I am so happy for you being able to show your vulnerability, coming out here today and just opening up, not just to showcase you at your lowest, but to show
Yes.
resilience, to show that you are unbroken, you are unfazed. And look at how the Lord has worked in your life. Look at the children, look at your partner, your husband. Look at everything that has actually built you up to this. But the key takeaway is that there was an aha moment for you. You realized you were tired. The system was
Yes.
your break, but a judge could have thrown away the key literally with you. And he said no. And it took that angel, your husband now, to come into your life to stand with you. And here you are today. But I want to thank you for really showcasing, for being able to have you showcase here. The kids are at you now. But thank you so
Yes.
much, Sacha. Thank you so
Thank
much for
you too.
being on us.
God bless you
Yes.
all.
Yes. You have a good
Appreciate it.
evening. God bless you.
Yes, ma'am. You too.
Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Sacha's journey is, oh my God, a powerful reminder that even in our darkest moments, we are not alone. And when you listen to her story here today, it's just not her story. To be honest, I see that as a testament to strength that we find in our very own community. Community is there. The love that carries us, the faith that guides us as well, and the hope that promises definitely a brighter tomorrow. Even in her darkest days, I know Sacha would have never, ever in her wildest dreams ever saw herself. But look at how it all evolved today. But I want to extend my deepest, most sincere gratitude to Sacha for her courage and her vulnerability this afternoon. Her journey from loss to purpose should remind us that our broken pieces can actually be put back together in a way that makes us an example for other and makes us also stronger. We also need to look at the foundation of our very own Cayman community and look at it from the perspective that it is built on so many stories like these of unconditional love, unshakable faith. The woman had faith in a divine power that many of us still doubt, and the enduring hope that always allows us to not just survive, but to truly live. And I hope, to be honest with you, that her journey inspires so much of us to be a little bit more kinder. God knows we need more, but more of that. Little less judgmental, little more understanding, and a little more hopeful. This episode of Sabrina Speaks, I'm going to change that title today to Cayman's Unbroken. And I hope that this episode is a true tribute to all of you and to all of those who have faced adversity and who's possibly going through some struggles right now. But for those who have faced it, that they have found their way back. So let's carry that spirit forward, offering a hand to those who need it and celebrating the resilience that defines us as a people. We have it. And I want to thank each and every one of you, Miss Carol, Jim, Haley, and for the hundreds of messages that we got, Miss Deborah, everyone who has stuck it out here, for all of your well wishes, for all of your words of hope, celebration of Sacha, the new version of Sacha. And I hope that this community, the Cayman Islands community, will take this as a lesson that today you may be down, But that does not have to be your final story. Until next time, continue to support one another, and blessings to you always. God bless. That's a wrap for today's edition of Sabrina Speaks. Thank you for tuning in and for being part of the conversation. Remember, the dialogue doesn't stop here. Stay engaged, stay informed, and most importantly, stay empowered. We'll be back tomorrow at 5 p.m., same time, same place, right here on CMR TV and radio, where your voice matters and your truth is heard. Until then, Cayman, take care of yourself and each other.
That's it for today's edition of Sabrina Speaks, where your voice matters, your story counts, and your truth is always welcome. Join us weekdays from 5 until 6:30 p.m. right here on CMR TV as we dive into the topics that matter most to you. Catch the show live or on demand at cmrtv.com. And don't forget to follow us on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram so you never miss a moment. Until next time, stay informed, stay engaged, and always speak your truth.